Good morning and a very warm welcome to all gathered here. It is indeed a great pleasure meeting you all virtually here at our most awaited opening ceremony of SSVM World, or Cambridge International School. So let's move right in.
When the world is moving towards globalization, integrating an international curriculum while staying connected to the roots and traditions of India definitely provides a conducive learning environment. Informed curiosity and inquiry-based learning equip children to become inspiring, thoughtful learners. Cambridge-trained and qualified faculty with truly international standard amenities facilitate our students to explore the spectrum of opportunities, from farming, lawn tennis and AI to robotics, data science, etc. We welcome parents and students to join our learning community. SSVM World School, the first Cambridge Early Years Centre in South India. We now offer Cambridge Early Years and Primary Programme for this academic year, and the classes will drive up to A-level in the years to come.
And now that was an introduction to our new venture. I deem it my privilege to welcome our most respected founder and managing trustee, Dr. Manimeghla Mohan, our esteemed guest of the day, Mr. Dilip Kotapadat, the regional manager of Cambridge Assessment International Education, South India, and a young, passionate educationalist, Ms. Risha Mohandas, the Director of Education, SSVM Institutions. I take this opportunity to welcome all the principals and teachers of SSVM Institutions, and I extend my hearty welcome to our dear parents who have joined us today with their valued presence to grace this momentous day. Welcome you all once again. At this juncture, we are elated to announce that SSVM World School is the first Cambridge Early Years Centre in South India. We also offer Cambridge Early Years and Primary Grade 1 to 5 this academic year, and the classes will drive up to IGCSE and A-level in the years to come. I'm profoundly delighted to take an opportunity to introduce the guest of the day, Mr. Dilip Kotapadat. Mr. Dilip has over a decade of experience in international education, marketing, innovation, and change management. As a regional manager of Cambridge Assessment International Education, a department of the University of Cambridge, the UK, he manages the entire Cambridge portfolio for South India. His focus areas are transformation through education and technology in education. He works closely with various educational stakeholders and thought leaders across the world. May I now invite Ms. Risha Mohandas, our Director of Education, to felicitate the guest with a tree gift certificate and share a few words.
Well, first off, I wanted to thank you very much, Mr. Dilip, for joining us today amidst your packed schedule. And it's an absolute honor to have you here with us and as our guest of honor. And we would like to present you with a bountiful tree at Kasturi Vanam SSVM World School. So Kasturi Vanam is an initiative that was started a few years ago to restore the environment. And we're happy to share that as of today, we have over 1 lakh of trees in that particular Kasturi Vanam, and it has made a significant impact. And we will be planting a sapling today in your honor. And
thank you.
seeing your advocacy for environmentalism and sustainability, and how our schools also aligned with similar values, we're so delighted, and we were very enthusiastic about. We're really enthusiastic about gifting you this tree today.
Thank you so much. I'm very privileged.
Thank you so much, Ms. Resha Mohandas. Thank you, ma'am. Now, come on, let's take a look at what Cambridge has in store for our learners.
Cambridge International is the world's largest provider of international education programs and qualifications for 5 to 19-year-olds, from primary through to secondary and up to university.
It's just taught me to learn independently and to research independently and to think on my own and based on my own initiative.
We offer world-class international education through high-quality curriculum, assessments and support for teachers.
What I find attractive in what I might call the Cambridge approach is that, first of all, there is content, but there is a primary emphasis on the analysis of the content, and maybe most importantly, being expressive about the content, being able to communicate it.
We're a not-for-profit organisation and a part of the University of Cambridge. We share the same educational values and the university's commitment to excellence in education. Our qualifications are internationally recognised by the world's universities and employers, providing learners with a global passport to success.
Wow. May I now invite our beloved founder and managing trustee, Dr. Manimeghla Mohan, to share a few words about SSVM's journey.
Good morning and namaste to all the parents who are here and those who have proudly and boldly taken decision to admit your kid at SSVM Cambridge. Good things come to those who believe. Better things come to those who are patient. And the best thing comes to those who don't give up. So that's how SSVM has traveled 22 years in the journey of education. So always whenever we talk about SSVM, I'm very possessive in such a way that we have to give quality education, and we should not get diverted from our traditional ethos and give an upliftment in the quality of education. So whenever our students have traveled worldwide and they have sat in various great universities abroad, and when they come back to India and when they say, being in CBSE, you have given us the best global knowledge. But at the same time, even if we would have had an international syllabus, it would have been still more easier for us to do things in a much better way. So when my daughter had experienced an international education, the same when she came back and she said, I was able to see children from international syllabus. Though me going from CBSE, I found it better. But still, children from international syllabus, they found the college education internationally still easier. So we have to start an international syllabus inside our campus. So I said, okay, so you are going to complete your education and then you will be back to India. So it's your turn to see that what you have seen globally, to bring it inside SSVM and keep that exposure to our parents and our students. And that's how she has taken this initiative, where when we spoke first to Dilip, I had to gain more knowledge from him, because I think most of the parents, you are very well aware that if I'm going to choose a syllabus or a curriculum, only if I'm very clear about it And if only when I'm confident about it, I go about it, or I just take some more time to learn more about the context and then give the clarity of education in the right way. So when we approached Dilip, he gave us the best clarity. And along with that, we had to appoint an advisor who had worked internationally in international schools. And above all, we have to thank Srisha, who made us do this venture and go inside globally. Because when the entire world is talking about globalization, now SSVM is now become a global institution where we have an international syllabus, right from state, national, and international curriculum. So every parent, you might want the best for your kid. But at the same time, we SSVM, we didn't want to give something wrong information about how an international is. See, whenever you think about international, we think we see something which is not coming right in front of our eyes. But to be very frank, here we have with us Dilip, who will give you a better clarity of what is Cambridge, how we sometimes perceive it in a different way, and how as parents you can get a better clarity and you will know which is right and which is better for your child. So once again, I thank everybody who have chosen the Cambridge, believing that SSVM has already done the best in the CBSE quality. Of course, we will never compromise in our quality, where you will see further in our session how SSVM is going to take up Cambridge and has already stepped inside doing the best. Thank you once again to all.
Yes, ma'am. An uncompromising quality. Is that what SSVM is? Thank you so much for sharing that, ma'am. Why Cambridge Early Years? Let's have a look.
Why choose Cambridge Early Years for your child? We believe young children should have the best possible start in life. 85% of the brain develops in the first 5 years, which is when your child needs maximum stimulation. Cambridge Early Years is a play-based, holistic education program specifically for children aged 3 to 6 that has been designed by experts in early childhood education. Based on research and best practice internationally and in India, the program is aligned with the 2020 National Education Policy. Cambridge Early Years allows your child to develop as an individual and thrive in and outside of school. It sparks their imagination and ignites their curiosity about the world, so that they enjoy learning and are creative, confident, innovative, responsible, and engaged. Our curriculum provides a strong foundation to help children move on to the next stage in their education, seamlessly and successfully. It covers 6 essential learning areas, helping your child to develop key skills in English with their home language also recognized, to find self-expression through art, design, music, dance, and drama, discover mathematical thinking and language in engaging ways, to follow a healthy lifestyle through play-based activities, to build self-esteem and confidence, to reflect, question, explore, and develop their natural curiosity for the world around them. The best start for your child is Cambridge Early Years.
Now let's see what Cambridge Pathway is.
Over 10,000 schools in 160 countries offer the Cambridge Pathway. The Cambridge Pathway is a clear path for educational success from age 5 to 19. The 4 stages of the Cambridge Pathway lead seamlessly from primary to secondary and to the pre-university years. Each stage builds on learners' development from the previous stage or from other educational systems. Schools can offer every stage or just some of them. This gives flexibility to shape the curriculum according to students' needs. Cambridge Primary is typically for learners aged 5 to 11 years and develops skills and understanding in 10 subjects, including English, mathematics and science. Cambridge Lower Secondary is for 11 to 14-year-olds and also includes English, mathematics and science. Cambridge Upper Secondary has over 70 Cambridge IGCSE subjects and over 40 Cambridge O-level subjects to choose from. Cambridge Advanced is typically for learners aged 16 to 19 years old and offers Cambridge International AS and A-levels. Cambridge Global Perspectives is available at every stage of the Cambridge pathway. This unique programme develops critical thinking, research and collaboration skills. Professional development is also offered to help teach the Cambridge pathway. The Cambridge pathway prepares students for life wherever they are in the world.
Yes, that's about Cambridge, early years and primary. May I now invite Mr. Dilip, the guest of the day, to address the gathering.
So, a very good morning to all present here. Let me start by first congratulating SSVM World School for bringing Cambridge to their campus and taking it a step closer to the parent community. It's indeed a pleasure to work with an institution like SSVM, where you have someone who has spent almost their life towards education, and then someone who has traveled the world and who wants to bring in the international education back to where they are. So that shows the kind of commitment that the management has in helping the parent community around Coimbatore, because they have had the chance to get on and see the best that the world could offer, and they would like to provide a stepping stone for each one of you who are here today to help your child achieve those dreams, because we all believe that sky is not the limit, and we just keep going beyond. And again, I was just thinking, what a wonderful way to start my day to, by planting a tree. Though it's virtually, it kind of feels very close that, I was able to do something, what I can towards the nature and the place that we live in. So maybe I think the next time I visit, or the first time probably when I visit the SSVM campus, I would like to visit, I made a note of the name. Kasturi Vanam. Yes, I didn't want to miss the name. I want to visit the place personally and then maybe plant one myself. So that would be the next privilege that I could think about. So thank you so much for that. The founder clearly articulated that with the national curriculum that they've been offering close to about 2.5 decades, they've seen a lot of students. They go to the international universities, outside in different parts of the world, and they don't see, they also get an opportunity, because at the end of the day, come on, it's an education, and if you're able to put your thoughts very clearly, and if you're able to present yourself, the world is within your reach. You can be it in India or be it anywhere in the world, you can. But what makes Cambridge different here is about the international benchmarking that you get, because as a national level or a state level curriculum student, you don't get the option of being internationally benchmarked. Now, when you go to any corner of the world and you talk about the Cambridge program, be it the primary, the lower secondary, or the world's most popular program, the IGCSE or the A-level, it's well known around the world, and your student is benchmarked. When one of your student, maybe tomorrow it would be your child who gets let's say a world topper in a particular subject, that means she's the best in that particular subject, in that particular series amongst the students around the world. So it's not, we are not talking about, let's say, Coimbatore or Tamil Nadu or India for that reason. We are talking about the entire planet. We have about 170 countries where we offer this program. So your child has achieved top in the world in that particular subject, means she is the best in that subject. Now, when someone is benchmarked to an international level, and it just works the other way around. So we oftentimes apply to university, and we ask them, and there's so much that we need to do to get a seat in the university. Just think about how it works in reverse, when the university would come to you telling that you are the best in the world, and we would like to offer a seat with scholarship in my college. And of course, if you are a student who've taken the relevant subjects in the A levels that you continue to study in your undergraduate program, you also get to use your credits, be it in the first year or second year of your study. So that time that you save, the first year, the freshman or the foundation program that you may have to do otherwise, or the time that you have to that you may have to invest in going through something that you've already touched upon in your AS or A level, can be taken care of. So you can carry this credit over there, and then you can use that time to do something else, so that you will also get to learn something new that university. So what do we do here? What's our motto? So what we want to do is we want to help students understand that learning is something that's continuous, and it's an integral part of life. So what is different with the curriculum? There's one major difference, if I could highlight, is that we often, there are various ways to teach. We have fantastic teachers out there who can teach, but what matters is how a student learns, because when it comes to assessment, it's not what is being taught that is tested, but what is being learned that is tested. So teachers, being a teacher is a wonderful thing, and I think one of the noble professions that someone could choose, because you sit in a class of, let's say, 20 students, and each of them have a different learning capacity. Now, for you to bring them in line and to ensure that you are able to address each learner, the learning gap, and ensure that each of these students are able to perform at their maximum capacity is what is important, and that's done by a teacher. And we call that person efficient teacher, if you're able to understand how a child learns and then help the child get on. Now, that might be a bit challenging task to see, or to probably bring in a student's learning ability to a line where it's comfortable, or it's possible for someone to interact. So that's precisely why we realized there is a gap, and there's no structured curriculum in the country which could help students at a very young age. That's precisely the reason why we introduced the Cambridge Early Year program within the country. So first started in India. So we have early years right now in India, and probably the next year we would take it outside to different parts of the world, because we realized that Cambridge Early Years is required more in India to start with. And the core team, again, I was part of the core team which put the curriculum together. So if you look at it, this is the only early years program that has defined curriculum, and the curriculum is linked to set milestones. We have created books for the children that are developmentally appropriate. We have training and training material for teachers, and those materials are also linked to the assessment that students get to take at different intervals. Now, as I said, the universities about that probably would be a question if it's an interactive session that we have. So, but it's not. I'll probably give a glimpse of someone who doesn't know about the university. So, the privilege of putting your child in a Cambridge program is that this is a curriculum which is backed by the University of Cambridge in UK. The University of Cambridge is about over 8 centuries old. We are about 810-year-old university, and the only university in the world which has maximum number of Nobel Prizes. And we're well known for our science and our research. So the Cambridge Assessment International Education, which is department of the University of Cambridge, manages the Cambridge Assessment International Education. Which takes care of the program, the pathway program, starting from early years all the way up till AS and A level. So our motto continues to be the same, right when we started till date, that we would like to prepare students for life, helping them develop an informed curiosity and a lasting passion for learning. So to maybe start with, let's say, the early years program, we we often have, we often tend to spend a lot of time to help a child develop the cognitive skills where the knowledge can always be tested. But what we also should look at is the social skill. What a student can get on with the attentiveness, the persistence, working with others. We call it the community learning when you get to a school. Those are the social skills that you need to develop at a very young age, and the curriculum focuses on that, because when these social skills get combined with the cognitive skills, this makes someone a more capable and productive citizen. That's important because most of the time you see that sometimes our students are very good in cognitive, but then when they lack in social skills, that often becomes a challenge for them to the later part of their life. There was a quote by the father of the nation, that it went like this. So there are certain things that a child learns in the first 5 years that the child may not touch upon the rest of their life. So it is important that you're able to help the child develop those things in the first 5 years, because as you saw in the video, 85% of the cumulative brain development happens in the early years. So if you miss this crucial stage of development, then the learning foundation would be lost, and the children's the first the primary years would be a struggle. We often think about, okay, will my child be able to clear NEET? Will my child be able to look at clear IIT JEE, or any entrance test for that reason? But if you look at it, these are absolute fundamentals that you need to know, because unless you know the fundamental, unless you learn the fundamentals, and you know that it's quite challenging for you to clear those entrance tests and other tests that you may have to do to get into a university. So so it's important that you set the learning foundation right, so that you're able to help the child move on seamlessly to primary, lower secondary, and go on. If you're able to build that foundation, then if there is an issue that comes in, it's easy for you to rectify those problems because you have built a strong foundation. It's also important these days that we often see that students may not have the kind of emotional balance that they should have, or that we used to have when we were kids. So social and emotional skills related to the behavior are best taught during the early years. It adds to a fundamental to the foundation stage. If you would like to, if you are a parent, if you would like to give the best to your child and help the child get best results towards the later part of the life, then absolutely ensure that you get the best possible foundation for your child in the early years and the primary stages, because this is absolutely important. We oftentimes think what the child does in their grade 9, 10, or maybe their 12th standard is important. Of course it is, but it's only a stepping stone which will help them move to a best university. But for you to perform well in those level, the foundation is very important, because if your foundation is not very good, then you may not be able to stand properly. The child may not be able to stand properly. Put that way. A couple of areas that the parents normally are concerned, or maybe they're curious to understand at times, is how different is Cambridge program with any other program in the that's available in the country or outside the country. So those points that I've just briefed are the major differences. One major or the key differences that stand out is, if you look at the early years, it's the play-based learning that we give for the student. If you look at any other stages of the pathway program, we help child understand why learning is important, and then ask those questions as to when, where, why, before they're able to. It's not about, okay, we are telling the child something that, okay, this has happened in a particular point of time, and a child doesn't read that and just understand, okay, this has happened there. No, here, why has it happened? Where did it happen? Was there any other chance, or is there any other way it could happen? So there's a lot of inquiry and curiosity that's built into the students, so that they get to explore through the learning pathway. that they kind of get into investigation mode to see how things happen, why it has happened the way, and if there is a different way that could happen. This would lead on to someone who will get on to let's say will improve their research skill, which will help a person to be more innovative. So there's a broad area that this would cover when a student get on to a curriculum like Cambridge. There's also, parents often tend to call the curriculum in its whole as the IGCSE, which is the International General Certificate of Secondary Education. But we need to be aware that IGCSE is only the stage 10 of the entire Cambridge pathway that you just saw on the video. The reason why everyone refers to the curriculum as IGCSE is because IGCSE is the world's most popular grade 10 exam. So if you see around the world, the maximum number of takers and the most popular grade 10 exam around the world is the IGCSE. But it's only the 9 and 10. So we are in the part of the pathway program, which starts with early years, Cambridge Primary, Cambridge Lower Secondary, the Cambridge Upper Secondary, also called as the Cambridge IGCSE, and then the Cambridge AS and A-level. Now, if you look at it, the curriculum, another exciting thing about the curriculum is it's flexible. Be it assessment, be the way a particular subject or a syllabus is taught, everything is flexible. It depends on how the student gets to learn. Now the school decides the way it needs to be delivered, and the teachers are trained. The teachers know how to understand the learning gap and how to deliver a particular syllabus to a child. So once you look at it, we make it flexible, as much as possible to ensure that the child gets the child has an experiential learning. And also when it comes to the assessment, we are able to, it's not about, okay, I have a set assessment at this point of time, it has to be taken. No, it's flexible. If you look at the assessment for, let's say, the grade 10 and 12 equivalent, which is IGCSE and AS and A-level, we have 3 series in India, which means we have the Feb-March series, the first in the year, and we have the May-June series, which is the second one, and the October-November series, which is the third, which means in a year, we give you 3 different series for you to assess your child. And with regards to primary and lower secondary, the assessment is, we have one in the month of April and the other one in the month of October. We're trying to see if it's possible for us to bring something in the month of May so that it's aligned with the school academic year. With regards to early years, it's quite flexible. We do have a certain window in which the assessment needs to be done. It's more of a reflection that you do to help to understand what the child has learned and what you need to do to ensure that you're able to move on, help the child reach the level that the child is expected to reach. There's also a question as to how much importance a regional language or any language for that reason plays when it comes to delivering a particular curriculum. So our curriculum is delivered through English, and almost all the stages we expect the child to have, and while they go through their level of English, the comprehension, the competence in English language will improve. So if you look at the regional language, I would suggest if there is a possibility and if there's a chance for you to help your child develop a language, by all means, please do. Because as someone who can speak about 6 to 7 different languages, I know the importance of knowing a language, because it's nothing like if you go to a particular place and you're able to communicate in that language, nothing like that, because you get to immediately have a connect, and that conveys most part of what you want to tell the other person in a very seamless manner. These are days when, like one of my friend who can speak, I think about this guy is about 36 different languages that he can speak. So he focused on, just learning languages, right? When we all entered into our undergraduate program, he realized that language is where my passion is. And he went on learning 36, 37 different languages that he could speak. And he works with different, government agencies and companies where he's able to translate, and he's someone who can speak in multiple languages. If someone is going to talk in English, and he's able to talk and, kind of translate that instantly and talk in different languages. So he has made, maybe a fortune out of doing that. So language is a mode of communication. So if there is a possibility and help the student learn whatever language it's possible. We have not made it mandatory that a student has to learn these many languages. Of course, English, because that's required for the child to study subjects further on and for their study overall, because it's predominantly English in most part. But we offer regional languages like Tamil, Hindi, And if you look at internationally, including Tamil and Hindi, we have about 40 different languages that a child can choose. But all of these are assessed only at grade 10 stage, not before that, which is the IGCSE. Now, if you look at the way the assessment we have kept right from early years, is that the year 4, which is the lower kindergarten stage, is when the first assessment. I would probably call it as a reflection, where we will try and understand what the child, what does the child actually know. What is that the child actually carries with him or her at that stage. So we test that. It's an adaptive test. But there will be a situation where there'll come a point where a student is not able to answer the question, because we will raise the bar. It's an adaptive test. When I say adaptive, as in when the child answers the question, the toughness of the question goes higher, so that it comes to a point where the child is not able to answer because it's way beyond their comprehension. So what happens is we will try and benchmark and tell the we'll generate a report and we'll tell the teachers that this is where the child's highest capacity is, and these are the areas that the child is well aware of, so that they can design their the learning pathway for that particular year, the lower kindergarten, so that you are able to reach the milestone that we have set for the students. Now, at the end of the year, we do another assessment or a reflection to see where the student was at the beginning of the year and how much the student have traveled towards the end of the year. So this is with regards to early years. Now, with coming to the primary stage. Primary stage, we have something called as a progression test that starts from year 3 onwards. So the year 3 progression test is an internally assessed component where we have the resources made available for the school. The school conducts the assessment, they do the marking, and they are asked to send the lowest, the middle, and the highest average marks that the students is secured, including the script, back to Cambridge, so that we can look at it and we can moderate, and we will know how the assessment and the marking has happened. At stage 6, we do a checkpoint exam, which is called which is the externally assessed exam. We send question papers from Cambridge, and the exams are administered within the campus, and the answer scripts are sent back to Cambridge, where we do the correction and we give the statement as to what the student is, how the student is performed, scale between 0 to 6, which will tell you where your child is. Now, after 2 years, the intervention comes back as a lower secondary checkpoint, which is at stage 8, 9. Which will help us understand what the child has learned in the last 6 years, 8 years, and how well is the child prepared to get into the IGCSE, which is the 9, 10 stage. And of course, you then move on to the IGCSE, which is which can consist of about 70 different subjects that a child can choose, and this becomes a stepping stone for the student when they move on to the AS and A-level. Because the curriculum is flexible and options that a student get, and because we focus on individual learner and the way they learning the curriculum, we are not the traditional way, traditional curriculum method, where there's oftentimes a lot of homework that is being sent. There's a lot of writing that we ask the student to do, ask them to carry a whole lot of books. So we are a bit different from that. We would do what the child needs to do and is required by the child. We have set certain milestones at different stages, and we will help the child reach those stages. While doing that, we will prepare. So all through the curriculum, the pathway, our aim is to prepare them for life. We don't prepare them for the next stage. Of course, that's an integral part. When we prepare them for life, they are prepared for the next stage. But the way that the curriculum provider or the school who delivers the curriculum, the way the teachers are being trained is to ensure that you're able to make them an independent learner and prepare them for life. So while we do this, the students are able to touch upon various the key milestones that we have set for the students. So maybe with that, I think we can look at the questions, and if there are any, anyway, I'm sure you may have some questions that you would like to clarify. So feel free to put that in the chat box. I'll be more than I'm more than happy to help you with those questions. And before we move on, please congratulate yourself and for being here today, and and also for considering that you would like to give the best curriculum to your child, and also for choosing an institution which is inclined and it's a passion for what the time that I've spent with the management. It's something built in as a passion, wherein quality and the way it needs to be done. It's kind of inbuilt. It's not an option. It's their inconsistency, and that's visible over the years that they have delivered education in this particular region. So with that, I think I'll give it back to the moderator.
That was indeed enlightening, Mr. Dilip. Thank you for sharing that valid information. Now, moving on further with our agenda, why Cambridge at SSVM? So let's have a look.
Well, hi, Kaya here for you. Here we go. Cambridge at our SSVM World School. So, what's so special about Cambridge and SSVM? Oh, come on, let's see. Cambridge Early Years gives us the opportunity to tailor the curriculum to suit the child's needs, capabilities, interests, creative expressions, and a scope to understand the world better. Cambridge Primary starts learners on an exciting educational journey with a flexible curriculum, learner-centered approach, experiential learning, and etc. On the whole, by being part of Cambridge, your child is privileged to enjoy the benefits of a high proficiency in language and communication, exposure to an international environment, easy pathway to international universities and global competencies, Cambridge qualified faculty, formative assessments. With the bar set real high and 22 plus years of great success, dedicated and well-trained educators, all these and much more make SSVM stand out as the best for your child. So take off your thinking caps. Join our community to embark on a journey with an experience of global learning. See you! Cheerio!
Wow, that's exciting, isn't it? Now, may I now invite Ms. Risha Mohandas, the Director of Education, SSVM Institutions, to speak about Cambridge curriculum at SSVM.
Well, thank you, Husaina ma'am. And first off, I wanted to just start off by thanking Mr. Dilip. Mr. Dilip, you have in fact shared a lot of insightful thoughts, and you have also well covered a lot of questions that parents might have had in their mind as well. And also we've heard a great deal about the Cambridge curriculum today as well. And I'd like to thank all the parents here for gracing this event, and more importantly, for wanting to learn more about an international curriculum, particularly Cambridge. And this in its own way is the first proactive step you can take towards helping your child to be globally prepared. And as many of you might be wondering about how SSVM World School intends to approach the Cambridge curriculum, and I'm so delighted to share that our team of international and diverse educators have been keeping the core learning experiences as consistent as possible for both our early years and primary years children. And now at SSVM, as a Cambridge school, we will holistically develop each child with a learner-centered approach and simultaneously embrace our value-oriented pedagogical approach. And you will see how we're going to do that as well in the subjects that we offer. And now looking at early years, while we base our activities on the foundational learning aspects of literacy, numeracy, understanding the world, physical wellness, and like Mr. Dilip himself mentioned, social, emotional well-being, a child-centered pedagogy will help each child nurture their own interest and maximize their learning potential for that matter. So our teachers, so both our teachers and our Cambridge learners would start this learning journey as partners, and as they emphasize on a child-centered perspective. And at the core of what we intend to do is to empower our children to become confident learners and embrace their individuality. And we understand that every learner has their own unique needs and preferences for learning, and that's something that will keep at the core of everything that we do. And I'm very sure that some of you also might, wonder how we would achieve this during our current circumstances, especially. And here at SSVM, we balance the needs of our students to have as normal as possible to a normal childhood. And we focus on the hybrid approach of Reggio Emilia and the Montessori approach by participating in activities such as phonic hunts and gamified activities and so many more. Drawing upon both these approaches, both Reggio Emilia and Montessori, our experienced early years educators will provide our children with multiple avenues for learning during live classes like role play, drawing, painting, music, and whatnot. And so moving on to primary years. In primary years, SSVM would adopt a learner-centered approach to facilitate learning in the student activities and help our children to take ownership of their learning. And the flexibility that is offered in Cambridge primary curriculum provides the children with multiple learning pathways, like Mr. Dilip mentioned as well. And our teachers adopt this approach to help learners engage in hands-on activities and also help discover different possibilities in real-life situations. And so by utilizing research-based practices, learner-centered pedagogy, and inquiry-based learning, as well as collaborative learning, we will provide our learners with a developmentally appropriate learning experience. So now looking at the subjects, I'd like to quickly walk you through the subjects that we offer for our Cambridge primary learners at SSVM. So the first one, as part of our core subjects, we have English as a first language, and we have mathematics, and we have science. And we also offer some additional subjects to embrace our heritage and prepare the learners for global challenges and be future ready. We offer interesting subjects like Ayurveda, yoga, art and design, and global perspectives is a predominantly important course here for them to be internationally aware. And then we have digital literacy. We have music and dance, we have physical education, we have rhetoric, where they can develop a lot of soft skills and communication skills, and yes, basically help be prepared in that aspect as well. And we have theater. And we also have a few special foundation subjects as they move on to years, stages 7 to 9, which is grade 6 to 8. They'd also experience a few other additional subjects, and we hope to prepare our students with a few of these foundation subjects that are going to be very interesting for them. Robotics, agriculture, and environmental management, as it's really important for this. I think it's a need of the hour for us to all learn about taking care of our planet, and we believe that it is an important subject to inculcate in our learners, so they can have that imbibed in them right from their foundational years. And to talk about the languages we offer, we have the second language and the foreign language. So we have, as part of second language, the children can take either Tamil, Hindi, or French. And we also have a foreign language, which is Spanish. And we're excited to share that we also have international educators, native speakers who are going to be teaching French and Spanish for our children here at Cambridge International School. And yeah, so be it math or science, I think traditionally there used to be learning a concept without much articulation of what the purpose is. But however, our experienced team of educators will help learners apply the concept in real life situations. So I'd also like to introduce you all to our leadership team at Cambridge International School. So first we have, as you all know very well, Dr. Manimeghla Mohan, our Managing Director, and Mr. S. Mohandas, who is our Executive Director. And that's me, Srisha Mohandas, Director of Education here. And we have Miss Husaina, who you would have seen today pretty frequently. She's our principal at SSVM World Schools, Cambridge International School. And this is an exciting part, the reason behind SSVM's, the strength, our educators. And I'm so excited to introduce all those educators to all of you. We have an incredibly diverse team of educators, I must say, from the UK, US, South Africa, South America, Spain, France, and India. And so we're just so excited to have such a diverse team of instructors for this academic year. And they're all, during the pandemic, they couldn't come in person. We look forward to having them in person when the schools open. Right now, they're going to be doing the virtual lessons for our children at the Cambridge International School. So let me quickly introduce them. We have Catherine, who will be handling English from the United Kingdom. And then we have Ms. Ishani Lauren, who is a very avid practitioner of Ayurveda and yoga. And she's from Boston, and now she lives in India. So we're so happy that she's going to be teaching Ayurveda for our students, and it is really important for our children to imbibe those healthy lifestyle and habits, and we're excited for children to be learning that. And we have Ms. Lena, who's from Mauritius, and she'll be teaching both global perspectives and art and design. And then we have Ms. Karen, who's our Spanish faculty, and she's from Chile. And we have Ms. Vanessa, who will be handling math from South Africa. And we also have Noelle, who will be handling French. She's been spending her life mostly in France, and who's right now in Spain currently. And we have Ms. Benedicta, our early years educator from India. And we also have Ms. Cheryl, who's our early years educator from India. And we have Mr. Jude, who will be handling rhetoric, soft skills, communication skills, and also music, who's from India. And we have Ms. Wahida, who will be handling yoga. And we have Ms. Leila, who's from Florida in the US, and she'll be handling environmental management. And we have Ms. Keris, who's also excited to be teaching our children here. She's going to be handling science and music from the UK. And we have Ms. Shamina, who's our early years educator as well. And we have Ms. Hema, who's our maths educator. And then we have Ms. Srividya, who will be handling agriculture. And we're so excited that when children come back to school and when they're there in person, we have a whole hydroponic system set up, and they'll also be learning organic farming. So it's time to get back to our roots and learn these traditional values from our Indian culture as well. And we have Mr. Gregory, who will be handling physical education, and that's from India. And that's pretty much it from our educators team. And so we have a well-designed parent-student portal and learning platform customized for our Cambridge students. And user experience is something that has been in our head predominantly. And so it has been a priority as well for enabling a seamless learning experience for our students. And our educators are very passionate about building a constructive relation with our children and the families of our children during their virtual learning experiences. And social distancing and other imposed measures, for that matter, on children in today's world may be extremely unusual to your children's learning platforms. And, like Mr. Dilip mentioned, these foundational years are very, very important for the children. And however, these virtual experiences provide our children with the opportunity to interact with our children socially as well. So yes, like I mentioned, we're very excited for us children to start learning online and begin virtual lessons starting this June. And so this June 14th until June 30th is going to be a jumpstart period, and where they get an opportunity to connect with their educators, connect with their teachers and their peers. And it's just going to be a fun period where they engage, build rapport, and they get to know each other with a lot of fun activities. And so we welcome children who are coming in ongoing as well to join anytime and experience this entire jumpstart period. And the regular lessons would begin from July 1st onwards. And I'm pretty excited to show our upcoming campus for Cambridge, which will be part of our SSVM World School campus in Bangalore. The building will be completed in 2022. So here is a sneak peek of how the building will look like. And one thing that I wanted to mention here is that the learning spaces that we've created here are well designed to support a communal and collaborative learning environment. And that is something that, personally, I've also experienced when I've been learning from programs in Harvard Graduate School of Education and a few other reputed universities. We've done researches and with really acclaimed professors, we've noticed that there is a need to keep the educational space in mind when we educate the children. And so it is really important to make the learning environment supportive to the learning. And so it's not just going to be a building, it's going to be a communal environment where it's going to support every child's learning and the pedagogy, the educators, the entire school community for that matter. And it's going to be a very collaborative learning environment. And we also had a philosophy of blending nature and learning in the facilities with sustainability as a key architectural principle in this building. So that's pretty much it. And I was And I'm just so excited for our students to start this year with the Cambridge curriculum. And thank you very much to all the parents and the entire community, the students as well. And we look forward to welcoming you all to our Cambridge International School at SSVM World School. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That was a brilliant coverage, I must say. Thank you. So, dear parents, now we are at the close of the session. I, on behalf of the SSVM family, let me call it the fraternity of education here together. And on my own behalf, I would like to extend a very hearty vote of thanks to all the panelists for sharing their commendable information about the Cambridge curriculum. So if you have any major queries like that you want Mr. Dilip to answer, now you feel free to just post it quickly in the chat box. We have another 3 minutes to go.
If I could come in quickly,
yes, Mr.
I see that some useful questions that I come across when I speak to parents, that most of them are concerned how the program, if someone does a Cambridge program, what are the chances for them to do, let's say, the undergraduate program, or at any point of time for them to transition to a different curriculum within the state or the country. So rest assured that Cambridge is a recognized curriculum in the state and in the country. So we have equivalency from the Association of Indian University, which is a statutory body under the Ministry of Human Resource, which means our IGCSE and A-level is equivalent to the 10+2 of the Indian curriculum, of any Indian curriculum for that reason. And if your child sits for an IGCSE exam, the child is and meets the eligibility and the equivalency criteria which the admission offers in the school would let you know, which at this point is too early for you, for most of you, but still your child can transition to the other let's say other board, the national or the state curriculum to continue their education. Coming to the different entrance exam that the students we have hundreds of students who clear NEET every year, and they get into the different medical colleges. We have had students who apply for NEET, IIT, for IIT JEE, for IIT, and in fact the 2019 country topper for IIT was a Cambridge A-level student. So what more do you need? You can just go to Google and you can search for 2019 country topper for IIT, and you will get to know the student is from Ahmedabad. And even let's say look at a university within the state. So Anna University, our students is eligible to join for the Anna University counseling. Being a foreign board, your student is eligible to take part in the Anna University counseling when they apply to colleges which is affiliated to Anna University. So rest assured, be it competitive exams or be it continuing undergraduate program within the country, if you look at, we try to understand where does our student go, and if you look at it, we had 2 entries, which is a May-June series and the October-November series before up till 2015. The year 2015, we introduced an India-only series called the Feb-March series, and we saw that more than 50% of our entries, which used to be in May, June, and October, November, moved to Feb-March series. So students who most often opt for the Feb-March series are the ones who apply to Indian University, which means almost 50% or more of our students, apply to Indian universities, and some of them prefer to be here if they are not willing to go to universities abroad. So the misconception is if you study an international curriculum like Cambridge, you get to study only in international university. That's not the actual reason. You study an international curriculum like Cambridge, you are welcomed by the many international universities abroad with scholarship that you're chosen by them, that you get to study in some of the best universities outside. But if you choose to study in some of the best universities within the country, you can do so. You name the university, and almost all the universities accept our students within your. Now, regarding the transition, how students can move to different stages within the curriculum. at whatever stage, maybe they continue, they're right now in CBSE or a different curriculum, and you want to transition to CBSE. There are a lot of things that we need to look at. It's possible, but I think the admission office is best place to advise you, and the principal would guide you. If there's any question that they're not able to answer, I'm sure they'll reach out to me, and I'll be more than happy to help you. Don't worry, you're in the right place. Do we have any questions that you've picked up we haven't covered that you want me to?
Yes, Mr. Dilip, there are a few questions that parents still would want to know. So there's one question for you is, how does the Cambridge Vision fit for early years program conducted online? Is one question from a parent.
That's a very important question. So I'm not, none of us here are trying to, let you know that the online learning is going to replace the school education. So the classroom learning is the best way that a student can learn. But so we are not trying to replace that with online education. But we are getting to a blended learning method. So once it's safe for the students to come back to campus, each of us here would like the student to come back, because this whole lot, what we wanted to achieve through the curriculum will be best achieved when students are back in the campus. Now, having said that, because we are not able to get back to campus, we should not be in a, we should not leave the students just like that, because there are certain things that we can still do by teaching online. And we would like to focus on that. And we are hopeful that students will be able to come back to campus at least towards the end of this year or early next year. So we are preparing the students. We will help them. We have put together a lot of digital resources, including books that schools and students can access. So we have made all of that available for our schools to teach students. So we are using that to ensure that we are able to cover some part of what the students should know online while we are online, because we don't have a chance to bring the students to the campus at this point of time. But when it's the right time for the student to come back to the campus, we'll ensure that the other part is done. So we are prepared, and we are well aware that it's not here. Pretty much most part of the world is going online, but it's our choice whether not to give your child anything or to give what is the best that's available for your child right at this point of time, which is the online learning. And I'm confident that the management has put together a fantastic setup to help students get the online thing. So please don't have any apprehensions with you. If you have any concern, put it out to the management, talk to them, talk to the admission team, tell what your concern is, and they'll probably take you through as to what they offer. And I'm sure that you'll be more than happy to by looking at what your child gets.
That's really wonderful, Mr. Dilip. Thank you for sharing that. I think that would have cleared most of our parents' doubts. And I think Ms. Vajiha, Parth's parent, I think your questions have been answered by Dilip just now. So it is just a choice, choices that matters now. So we also would want each and every child to come back to our school and enjoy the physical environment that we have created for them. So we look forward for the best. So any more questions, if you have, you feel free to contact the number which is given. We would be more than happy to help you and support you to take up this process in a very, very smooth way. So thank you so much. And moving on to my, submitting my gratitude to all those who are present here. A big thank you, I must say, to Mr. Dilip for having taken time amidst his packed schedule. I know how busy he is, but still he has taken time and has given his, enough insight to all, like the doubts that the parents had. Thank you so much, Dilip, for that. I must mention our deep sense of appreciation and gratitude to our Managing Director, Dr. Manimeglai Mohan, and our Executive Director, Mr. Mohan Das, for exposing this amazing platform for all our budding learners. And our sincere thanks to Ms. Srisha Mohan Das for giving that excellent coverage on Cambridge curriculum at SSVM. My thanks are due to the technical support rendered by the SSVM team. That is very crucial during this time. We all know that. And sorry for those small glitches that we had initially. Yeah. And my special gratitude to all our dear parents and all the attendees for their delightful participation. So I hope, my dear parents, you all would agree that we made a great start, a very thoughtful one with this opening session. I thank you all for being here. Looking forward to your support forever and ever. Thank you all.